mind introducing to the audience?
Yeah, my name is Nils, and like I said, I come from California, and I've officially moved to Philippines now. This is my retirement home. Planning on staying here for many years, hopefully, and maybe find a good woman and have a good life.
Oh wow. Well, he's been living here in Legazpi. This is Legazpi
The
area.
Hospital,
Yeah. He's been staying here for how long?
a little more than a year.
And how'd you like it?
I love it. I wouldn't live anywhere else in Philippines. And guys that say they want to go to Dumaguete or Cebu or any other place, I just don't get it.
See, that's the interesting part because, like, a lot of these men from the West or other other countries like Europe, and they want to retire in a province area. And when we started talking earlier, I was surprised to see that he wanted to stay here in Manila and retire
Makati.
here in Makati. Yes,
There's a
Makati.
difference.
Okay.
Manila is dirty. I have to admit that.
Oh yeah, I see that because there's actually a pollution. I can see a pollution, a lot of pollution,
And
but
a lot of squatter areas.
yeah. So I was surprised to know that you want to retire here in Makati. Like, what made you choose Makati?
Yeah, it's a long story, but let me see if I can shorten it down a little bit. I came here like more than 10 years ago. Actually, even before that, I was planning on moving to Thailand. I had a Thailand girlfriend. We were in love, and everything was good. And then she cheated on me while I was back in USA.
That's it.
And came back to Thailand. We sort of made up in a way. I was not really happy, but then she cheated again. So I said, okay, that's it. I'm not going to spend my life in Thailand. I don't trust Thailand people. I don't like Thailand girls anymore.
Yeah.
So I said, but what can I do? So a friend of mine, he was living in Makati, just a street away from here. And he said, come on over. And I'll show you around. And he was 80 years old. And he was living like a 25-year-old. He had a 20-something-year-old girlfriend.
Wow.
And he was saying, no, you can live here like you're as a young man. There's no problem. I said, really? I don't believe it. You know, with my American mindset, I think you gotta be a young man to date a young girl, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of Americans, they come here, they still think that, even though they've read everything online, that Philippines is different. But anyway, so I came here with him to visit him, and he showed me around. He had a chauffeur car, a young girlfriend. He lived in a penthouse here, a block away, and I fell in love with the Philippines. I just decided this was much better than Thailand,
Wow.
except the Thailand food.
Tastes
Still
much
number
better.
one.
Yes,
But
I know.
everything else here is number one.
Well, staying here in Makati, like, there's a lot of places that you could visit in the Philippines, right? You could try to visit Davao. Have you ever visited Davao?
I haven't been to Davao, but I've been to Cebu, I've been to Boracay, I've been to Angeles, a few places like that. But I always want to come back to Legazpi Village, Makati.
So
And
this feels like your home.
this feels like my home. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. Well, about staying here in Makati also, I was gonna ask you about the healthcare. How do you find the healthcare here in Makati?
That's another big point that I think a lot of these expats coming to Dumaguete or Cebu sort of put on the background or don't want to discuss, which is the healthcare. Here in Makati, you get Western style healthcare, like the Makati Medical St. Luke's Hospital, which is in BGC.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a ride if it's traffic, but here in Makati Medical, I can walk from my apartment. So if I have a heart attack or anything serious, they can basically wheel me across the street a couple of blocks, and I will be in the hospital where the Western quality care. I don't have to worry about somebody messing with me that are not qualified. You know, I don't know what kind of doctors they have in you. They get that. But I've read some or watched some videos of guys who died down in those areas in Messiah because they didn't get quality care on time. And I don't want to be part of that because I had an episode here about 10 years ago when I had to have an emergency surgery. And luckily enough, I was right next to Makati Medical, so they took care of me. I would have died otherwise. So I'm like, this is another big plus. It really opened my eyes. You've got to think about medical care when you're an older guy. You know, when you're young, you think you're strong and nothing will kill you, nothing can stop you. When you're older, it can happen.
You gotta think about the health first.
You got to think about that. And when there's a medical emergency, there's no warning usually.
No.
It just
We
happens.
just come.
And somebody on a motorbike, like in Dumaguete,
Yeah.
if they hit a dog and go off in a tree,
A lot of people will just stare and then don't move him, don't move him. We'll wait for the ambulance.
you will not feel comfortable living there. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. What adjustments did you make from the interaction with the locals?
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
No.
How
Like
do you
I
find the
said,
locals here?
they're my best friends. You immediately make 5 new friends every day in this town. It's like, it even beats living in California and having a circle of friends and family there. I mean, I just feel more connected to people here than even my friends in California because I only see them once or twice a year. And here you see them every day. They're working in the mall, or even the Americans that I know here, we meet at least once a week. So it's more social in so many different ways. I just cannot recommend highly enough the Filipino people. As you probably know, they are super nice, super friendly.
That's right.
Only watch out for online scammers. That's what you got to be careful with.
That's true. All the time you have to meet the person personally to know them very well.
Face to face.
Yeah.
And some expats that I meet here in Makati, like us people here, they just arrived from the US. They go online, oh, there's so many beautiful girls, and oh, I'm going to meet her next week or next day. I said, be careful.
You gotta slow down.
Slow down.
Yeah.
You know, they're ready to get married almost the second week they meet the girl.
Yeah.
And I think that they haven't been with a girl. They've lived in the U.S. for so long and they haven't had a girlfriend for 10 years.
Wow.
So they
Maybe that made them decide to marry the girl immediately.
Yeah, but it's like a physical urge, I think. They want to just experience the pleasure of having a girlfriend.
Maybe, yeah. Or maybe they also want companion.
Exactly. Well, there's companionship, there's physical relations, there's a whole bunch of things we can talk about, but I see them coming here and they think it's heaven, and I tell them, slow down.
You're gonna have a heart attack if you're not gonna slow down.
That too.
But yeah, so are you gonna retire here fully, or do you think of going back to the US? Or
No, this is my home now. I don't have any plans of going anywhere.
no plans
No.
anymore?
Although I modified that with my daughter getting married last year in California. Actually had a wedding reception in Hawaii. So
Yeah.
I did go back for that. That's technically USA, Hawaii. But it was very much like Philippines, Boracay, a lot of palm trees and
Yeah,
beautiful
yeah.
beaches. So I didn't mind that so much. But I don't like California and USA pretty much anymore. Paul probably told you a lot about the US already.
Yes, he did.
I'm not anti-US, but I'm just saying this is so much better than the US.
Uh-huh.
No comparison. Plus the living costs are lower,
Yeah.
1/5 the cost at least of what it costs to live in the US. And the dating life is not 5 times better, but probably 100 times better.
I can see that, yes. Well,
Don't have to go into details, but
yeah,
it's
because
better.
there's a lot of successful relationships between foreigners and Filipinos also.
Yeah, we can see that.
Yeah. So also, I want to ask you, do you experience any challenges while being here in the Philippines as a whole? Like,
Yeah, that's a can of worms, but there's just so many positives that far outweigh the negative.
okay.
The negatives of the Philippines would be like they're out of stock. Sorry, sir. Something with delivery time,
Yeah.
whatever service. We can. There's a whole list of things I don't like,
Uh-huh.
but there's so many things I do like. So I mean, it doesn't even enter into the equation anymore.
Yeah.
If they're out of stock, I just go online. I buy it and have it delivered in 2 days. It's like Lazada is like the Amazon of the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
So I just go online and order whatever I want. And if it's not in the Philippines, I can order from China. It takes a week to deliver. So it's no problem on the store being out of stock or something.
Well, that's really nice because like that's the privilege of living here in Makati or Manila or the capital city of the Philippines as well. Because if we order, for example, I'm staying in Dumaguete, and if I order something, it will take weeks to get there. So
Yeah.
it is really hard for us to wait for that item.
Yeah.
So we have to compromise something else. We have to use something.
I'm glad you told me that. That's one more reason not to live in
Oh my
Dumaguete.
And you have to stay away from the Dramagetti as well. There's a lot of dramas going on in Dumaguete right now. You don't want to
my
get
God.
into that.
Yes, I saw. We don't have to get into names or anything, but I saw a lot of videos recently about people being pushed around and fighting
Yeah.
in bars and all that kind of stuff.
There's a lot of stuff going on in Dumaguete. Well, also, I want to ask, like, do you made any adjustments while transitioning into your retirement here in Makati? Like,
No, there's none at all.
No
You asked
adjustments?
about the challenge. I have no challenge at all. It's just you arrive, you get a good apartment with a split level aircon, Western amenities, and you're good to go. People speak English here, just like Filipinos in California. It's virtually the same for me.
yeah.
I mean, I just walk up to people, say hello, and they're friendly. And if I do that in California, they'll be wondering, what are you trying to sell me?
So in California, they think that you have an agenda.
Yes, correct.
Noted.
Here, there's none of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what can you say to the people or to the audience that are watching this right now that wanted to retire here in the Philippines? And do you want them to choose the city life or the province life? Like what can you say about that?
Yes, because I'm a city boy, I'm biased, and I would say only come to Legazpi Village. Don't check out the greater Manila area because it can be overwhelming and dirty and noisy. Come to a quite good area like the Greenbelt area, Legazpi Village, and do an exploration tour before you move. Make sure you come here and check things out. Try 2 or 3 different apartments, like on Airbnb. You can book something for 2 or 3 days and see if you like it. And then make a second trip when you're finally ready to move, and then book a long-term lease, like 12 months or more, because you get a better price. And I noticed somebody made a comment on my YouTube the other day.
Yeah.
That might be a valid point. Why there's not so many foreigners living in here in Legazpi Village? That is, he said, maybe they can't afford $1,000 a month budget, which is what basically I have set aside for myself to live here in Legazpi Village.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't have that kind of money. It's not a lot of money, but for me, living in Legazpi Village, paying $1,000 a month for living with rent, utilities, food, etc., I think it's very reasonable. You couldn't do that in the U.S. No way.
No.
It would be 5 times that, or at least 3 times that. And then you wouldn't even be comfortable. It would be like a bare, like a
Not even okay.
it would be a closet apartment, and you'd
Yeah.
have a social life. So to the guys that are thinking about retiring here, please check it out and don't go to the province because of the hospital issue and Western amenities. You can't get deliveries. You can't have high quality aircons. Oh, of course you can, but you gotta look around very hard to find good quality aircon. They usually have the little window aircons in the Philippines, which is noisy like a motorbike. But in my apartment, I split level aircon. When I turn it on, you can't even tell that it's on. It's super quiet.
It's nice.
Yeah. But you pay more. You pay 30,000 pesos, which
Well,
is
of
like
course.
$550 a month.
Yeah.
Maybe in Dumaguete you can pay half that. So if you don't have the budget, yeah, Makati is not for you. But if you have $1,000 a month to spend, there's no
Makati is
other
for
place
you.
to consider. At least come here once.
Well, do you wanna add like to the viewers? That's your.
No, I think your questions are very good. I wanted to thank you personally because it's the first time I meet you.
Yeah.
To
We
having-
just
having-
actually introduced each other from Paul as
Yes.
well.
So I want to thank you for the opportunity to meet you. But I did watch some of your initial videos when you first very nervous and shy,
No, I don't wanna reminisce that.
hiding behind Paul and stuff. I thought that
Yeah.
was hilarious.
No.
But I could see the light in your eyes and the intelligence. So I sort of like I decided I want to follow this YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Video.
Tugs, tugs, tugs.